just a few minutes, waiting for everything to get loaded up. Let's hang out with the chickens while we wait.
What does farm your yard mean? It means looking at the space around your home a little differently. In Iowa, we know good soil when we see it. We see cornfields, gardens, barns, chickens, tomatoes on the vine, squash in the dirt, and sunflowers reaching for the sky. But too often, right beside our homes, we treat our own yards like they're only supposed to do one thing: look perfect. We mow, spray, water, fertilize, and spend money chasing a green carpet we can't eat. Meanwhile, in the United States, roughly 30 to 40% of the food supply goes uneaten, and households keep paying more for groceries that often travel a long way before they ever reach the kitchen. Farm Your Yard is a simple idea with a powerful shift behind it. Turn part of that lawn into something useful, beautiful, and alive. It does not mean you need acres of land. It can start with a raised bed, a row of tomatoes, a few herbs by the door, a patch of pollinator flowers, or a small backyard garden that feeds your family and your community. It means replacing some chemicals with compost, replacing wasted space with fresh food, and replacing the pressure of a perfect lawn with the pride of growing something real. In Iowa, this idea fits who we already are. We understand seasons. We understand work. We understand that food does not just appear on a shelf. Farm Your Yard brings that connection home. It is about fresh vegetables, healthier soil, less waste, fewer unnecessary inputs, and more neighbors remembering that a yard can be more than decoration. A yard can be a small farm, a teaching space, a food source, a habitat, a place where kids pull carrots from the ground and understand dinner differently. Farm Your Yard means using what you have, growing what you can, and proving that even one Iowa yard can make a difference.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cabin Farm. We're on the Flat Acres map, where I can finally say that after so much time getting it done, we are currently caught up on the harvest. Every field that we've been working on is completely harvested. We've got the guy here planting. This field is going to be planting into corn. We got this guy over here plowing up 13, working on getting the hay picked up and the straw picked up. Not the hay, it's straw picked up from field 5. And then we will, once this guy is done with this field, we'll switch over to the forage wagon and just pick up the rest of the straw from the other fields that way. Rather than continuing to try to bale it all up. So, and right now, working on getting this baled so that I can turn the plow loose on this field. I'm going to plow it, even though this is going to be where most of the new factories and production points go, because the plow will take out any spots that I have missed for the straw. And if I don't have it picked up, then it will not let me put down a production point, because it says there's something in the way. So we're just going to get all these caught up here. And I don't know if you guys are hearing game audio or not. It seems to be not coming through on my end. So let me check something here real quick. So it's kind of working. Okay. So yeah, Sand is kind of working, I guess, from the game. I don't know why that is this morning, but that's very weird. We'll just do it. You don't realize how big these fields are until you have to run equipment like this. Alright, well, I guess I'm getting lined up for this row, so we'll just do this one. I was doing every other just because of the turn radius, but since we're getting lined up to that one, we'll just take that now. And I'm going to go... I think that silo holds 250 bales, so once I've hit that number, because I haven't reset my bale counter, so once I hit 250, then I will stop making bales, because that'll fill that shed. Which I'm thinking, with as much field as left and as many rows left to get baled up, I'm probably going to hit that 250 mark. So let's make sure before I keep going here that 250 is that magic number. Yep, 250, and there's 136 bales in there now. So like I said, I have not reset the counter making any of the bales. So when I hit 250, I will stop baling, pick them up, store them, and then run the forage wagon to get the rest of it picked up. And the rest of it will go into this guy right here. That's got the, we got a lot of silage in there. I'm gonna have to get some of that out and take it over. But we've got 10 million liters that we can put in there, so that'll be plenty. I don't think I have that much on any of it, but we'll get it all picked up. The grass from that guy right there doing some mowing. We're keeping some of the straw in bale form right now for the animal pens. and then the rest will go. I don't want to just sell the straw outright because it's not worth as much as the digestate or the straw, or not straw, silage. Well, let's see if I can just start taking out row by row now. Then I'll just have to come back and pick up those last few later. And with the spinach, I did get the all of it sold off. I did sell the small spinach harvester. The big guy I'm keeping in case I decide to be crazy enough to do the root crops again. And of course I missed some, so we got to back up. Eventually I will come back and pick up those few rows that I skipped there at the beginning. I'll come get those done. We're looking at about 78 bales left. Which, like I said, should be pretty easy to get done. I might not have to pick those up with the baler. Those might get picked up with the forage wagon. Depends on how we're doing here. One of the things that I want to try to do in the game is avoid. I know that the game wants, all the stuff to make it better yields and stuff, but I want to try to avoid, like I do in my real life, I try to avoid using actual chemicals. I don't put herbicide down. I don't put anything. I do give them plant food sometimes if they're looking a little like they need help, but I mainly try to stick with compost for that part. And I skipped to go there too. Let's back up. No, we'll do it. We'll come back up the other way. I try not to put chemicals all over the stuff because the whole part of what I'm wanting to do is avoid the supermarket type stuff where you go in and you have to wash everything you buy from the supermarket because it's sprayed with chemicals. And some of that stuff can actually get leach inside of the product, and so you don't know if you can actually wash it all out. And yes, I know there are people that want to argue with me on that, but that's how I feel about it. Is if your fruit or your vegetable absorbs water and fertilizers, then it's also going to absorb through its roots whatever chemicals you put on it. So my preferred method is to hand weed. Which can get a little labor intensive, but it's kind of fun to just go play in the dirt. It's very relaxing. Plus, when you take the weeds and hand pluck them, or however you pluck them out yourself without chemicals, those can be composted and fed back to the garden. If you spray chemicals all over them, that's it. You don't get to use them for anything else. Because they say if you spray chemical, or you can't put chemically treated material in your compost pile because it'll stay with the compost. Well, that means it gets into whatever you're trying to grow. Scaling is not a fast process, is it? So, ideas that I'm working on for videos are, there's one specifically related to chemicals in gardening and farming. I've got one planned for food waste. Then there's more for kind of expanding on each topic that my beginning video briefly covers. I am wanting to expand on each topic, plus continuing on past what that shows. There's so many benefits to farming a yard. And I was very happy. We've been trying to sell tomato and pepper plants for all the shows that we've done. We've done 3 or 4 shows now, and we've tried to sell tomato and pepper plants. We have not sold a lot, but it's not because people weren't interested, which is very happy for me to hear. It's not because they weren't interested, it's because they're doing it themselves. They have their own tomatoes, they have their own peppers. So they look at ours and they're like, oh, we have so many of them at home, we don't need any more. Which, you know, oh darn, I didn't sell my plants to them. But knowing that they're out there doing it themselves already is very good. It means we're starting something. But that also means I think all the peppers and tomato plants that I have left in pots, if they don't sell tomorrow, we're going to be at the Mount Pleasant Farmers Market tomorrow. If I don't sell them tomorrow, it just means that I'm tilling up more of my yard to get them in the ground so we don't lose them. I don't want to lose any plants, so they will all, as many of them as I can get tilled up into the yard, I will get tilled up, and even less grass to worry about mowing. My ultimate goal would be to have zero grass. And for those of you that don't want a vegetable garden, you can do flowers too. You know what loves flowers? Bees, pollinators. They love flowers. And so you can help in that sense. You can have a beautiful flower garden that will attract pollinators, which helps everything. Pollinators are very essential to the food chain. And so if you put plants in that attract pollinators, they're going to help the growth. Some flowers also you plant directly in the garden with your vegetables. They help repel the bad pests that you don't want without having to use chemicals. They just naturally repel. I know we've got some basil growing with tomatoes and peppers. It's supposed to repel insects, and also, from what we've been told, we haven't tried it yet. It's our first year doing it this way, but it's supposed to enhance the flavor of everything. So we're going to see how that works. But there's many ways to farm your yard that doesn't involve tilling it all up and putting in 100 vegetables when you don't need that many. Me personally, I'm a very big fan of go big or go home. So what started as a few plants last year, and even fewer plants the year before that, has grown into, right now, 95% of my backyard is no longer grass, and the 5% that is still grass is simply because I can't get equipment back there to, or not so much I can't get equipment, but it doesn't, it's not a good spot to grow stuff in yet. We're still working on things that we can plant in there and change and make it all grow. Let's see if we can get 200 bales before I end this stream. I'm getting there. 18 left. 17 left. So yeah, I'm going to start writing some stuff up. And I'm kind of winging everything I'm saying right now, but I'm going to start making up talking points so that instead of you just sitting here watching me play, I'll be able to have more conversations, and hopefully, as more people start watching, interactive conversations. You ask questions, I have answers. If I, excuse me, hold on a second. If I don't have the answer right away, I do have ways of looking it up while I'm streaming here, so I can still we'll be sitting here playing Farming Simulator, but talking about the overall farm your yard. And I'm trying to. I have a presentation made up already that I just have to work on getting it finished up, pieced together, and then building the script for it. And then once I start getting all these type of videos or presentations and scripts written up, there will be days where I do my videos, my stream, but it won't be playing Farming Simulator. We'll be talking about, you know, why chemicals in farming or gardening is not a good idea, the downsides to it over the benefits. We'll also be talking about, I have a lot of topics. Some of them don't involve actual tilling up the ground and putting vegetables in at all. Some of it is recycling. I am very much wanting to stop seeing things go in trash cans. I would love to see everything that we use get recycled. The hardest things I'm having right now are plastics. We don't have anybody locally that recycles them. Our community recycling program takes certain kinds, but not all of them. And so there are things that I have to throw in the trash because our collection center doesn't take them. But different ways to have different items recycled. And sometimes there are things like batteries that if you throw them in the trash, it could be really bad. Man, I'm starting to lose my voice here a little bit. Got 13 bales left to get before the end of the stream. Let's see if we can get there. So you'll be seeing weird things like, well, why is he doing this? Why is he collecting materials for recycling? Why is that? What does that have to do with farming? Well, some of the time when I collect things to recycle them, they can be reused in the garden. The pots that I put some of my plants in are food containers. They're plastic food containers. I put holes in the bottom, fill them with dirt, and they're getting reused. They're getting new life. Other times, metals and stuff that don't have a purpose anymore, they go to the scrapyard to help fund the project. Some of the metals are more valuable than others, but it all helps. Anything that we can keep out of the landfill is a good thing. Especially when you consider that trash collection is a very big moneymaker. And people spend a lot of money getting their trash collected. We got just a couple minutes left here for today's stream. We have 11 bales left to make, so I think we'll go a little bit over 8 o'clock, and we'll get the 11 bales done. And then I'll get the rest of them. And hopefully, got a lot of things planned this weekend. We got the farmers market tomorrow morning. I'm still working on getting the shed tore down and a greenhouse built. There's a few other things that we're working on getting done that are in the works. I don't know how to word that, but basically what it comes down to is when the weather's nice, I don't like to be inside. I like to be outside. So I play Farming Simulator late at night when I'm sitting in bed watching TV before we go to sleep for the night. That's when I do my Farming Simulator at night. But if I can get everything done on this field, then I will get a plow on it, so that Monday we can start putting production points in. If I get everything set up, I'll put production points in during the stream. I won't put them in outside of it, mainly because apparently I forget that I put them in if I don't do it on stream. Because I put that potato chip factory in and didn't forgot about it. All right, 9 more. Yeah. Looking at the amounts rows we have left to pick up, I'm certain that we're going to get 250 bales out of this one field. And then much like the harvesters and stuff, I won't sell the baler. I'll keep it because we will be using those balers. They'll be going to the animals and they will have to get replenished. And what will happen is if we get all the way through the harvest and make more bales after the growing season, if we make more bales, then everything that's currently in the silo will get taken out and sold or put into the silage maker so that we can start fresh batch with the next season. I think there's 2 or 3 more fields out there that are going to need straw collected from. And then as soon as we get the soybeans harvested, there will be 3. I'm pretty sure soybeans create straw too. I will find out as soon as I start. I know in 22, I think it might have had to have been a mod to make it happen, but we'll find out. Oh, 5 after 8, and we've got 7 left. 6 left. I do have an actual time I have to stop so I can get ready to go to work. Be about 10 after. But I think I can get 6 more bales done in 5 minutes. I think I have to watch the straw package, or the progress bar down there too, because I'm pretty sure there's a full bale that it hasn't counted yet. because it doesn't count it until it drops it. Four left. This here. Oh, two more. So it keeps two full bales in there. So I'll have to remember that when I'm making when I hit the 250 mark too. All right, there's one. Here's two. All right, let's do it. 99, 200. All right. On that note, we've hit 200 bales. We can end the stream. 50 bales to go to fill up that silo. So that'll be what I get working on this weekend. And I'll also get them all picked up, get the forage wagon out to pick up whatever doesn't get harvested or whatever doesn't get baled. And like I said, I have to keep an eye on when I get closer to that 250 mark so that I don't want to keep anything in that baler. So, but chickens are out there doing chicken things. The black and white one that just walked past the water bowl, she is the one that was being broody, and she is no longer broody. We broke her. She is now back to being a normal chicken. So everybody's happy because not only was she hogging the nest box while she was being broody, she also kept them from going to bed at night. They refused to go to bed, and we had to make them. So yesterday, she stayed out of the box all day. She went to bed, and everybody went to bed with her. So very happy to have that happen. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to support the channel, follow along, subscribe. If you're in the Mount Pleasant area, Mount Pleasant, Iowa tomorrow, stop by the stop by the farmers market. We'll be there 8 to 11, and we'll have our tomato plants, our pepper plants, we have some house plants, we have some baked goods, we've got some merch, and it's just a good time. I love doing them. So with that, everybody, have a good weekend. Go out this weekend, farm your yards. We'll see you Monday back here on the channel. Bye, y'all.